amazing information. Because these are the bloggers who you go online, they have all the followers, they're tweeting, they know what it takes in order to be alive in the online community. Right to my left of me is Imani Dawson, and she is with a tribe called Curl. I love that. And next to her is Carmen Blakely of Lipstick Fashion Mascara. If you Google Carmen, not only does her name come up in her website, but all of her hits on Essence and all the other interesting magazines that are out there. Not an easy thing to do. And in addition, from the UK, I've learned a little bit of things from the UK, represented with accent. And we have Reggie Silly of UKnaturals. Let's give her international round of applause. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming out today. And again, pull in if you want to hear from these ladies and all of their wisdom. I'm going to pass.
Since 2006, my blog was more so about my life. I've got open diary because I come from a fashion background and fashion design. And people kept asking me, what do you do to your hair? How do you get your hair to be so curly? As I've always had my hair natural and never relaxed. And I thought, well, why not start writing about my hair? I started the UKnaturals YouTube channel with another person, and we did it as a journey into what our hair journeys as like in the UK. Because in the UK there isn't a big natural hair fan base as it is now. There is like a massive influx of natural hair, but it's been the past 3 years. And when looking on social media, all we saw was people in the US showing their hair. It's like, we want to join in too, and all the products, we can't get them. So it was, how do we get those products from the US to the UK? So for the past 3 years, that's been one of the things that I've been working on, and I can say we do have a lot of products that you have as well. 2 weeks ago, I released a magazine called UK Afro, which I have a team of 13 bloggers who write about their journeys, including locks, because a lot of magazines do not feature a lot of locks. So we want to make sure we cover locks and people that transition in as well. But my love for blogging is just that we can connect black women together again, because I feel like we're losing that connection of unity amongst ourselves. So that's one of the reasons why I started blogging.
I wanted to start with you, because we have the like, that we're doing right, wrong, or that you're following over there.
I think when we watch a lot of the American channels, it's very exciting as such, because we don't have that natural hair community as such. Like, it's literally, you walk around, you kind of point the natural in the crowd. We don't have a community as such. Where I come to Brooklyn, I can see everybody rocking. I don't stand out, whereas when I'm in London, I stand out. So it's very refreshing to watch something and see women that look like me on a social media platform that I can relate to, and that has now reflected in the UK. So because we're literally looking at you guys and seeing what's happening, and kind of copying it a bit and bringing it to the UK. So
like, let it be. Let it be. I think we spend a lot of money on products. My house is full of products, and I get it, but I think that was the biggest thing. People just so concerned with, why is my hair not looking like this person or that person's hair? I think that was the biggest thing. And then now I have a new pet peeve, but it's more fashion.
Oh, it's more, well, we want to hear the fashion pet peeve too. What's that?
So I noticed this, was it last week where Essence had a block party?
Yes.
I feel like the whole street style thing, at least in New York City, and even when I was down in New Orleans for Essence, I'm sure it's not like that when something as huge as Essence is going on, but I feel like things are so contrived now. Like, I feel like last weekend, people went into their closet and ripped down every crazy, weird thing, tights, boas, 100 degrees out, all in hopes to be photographed for street style photography side or some type of blog, and it's just like, like, you literally took something from Grandma Edna's closet, your mom's, vintage, whatever, and it's just like, chill.
In terms of where the mainstream sees us, because we certainly are in a lot of print ads and TV commercials. I can't say they've tossed over to Hollywood quite yet, but especially with your
I gotta be honest with you, I'm still very disturbed by the general portrayal of black women in media. I think that there's this, and black men as well. I mean, I think when we look at black people and how we're depicted and the images that are, it's not just impacting us, it's impacting our children, it's going out globally. So, you know, you could go to China and then they think you must be a movie star because, you know, how else would you afford to go to China or a singer or something because everybody else is in the hood acting crazy. Like, I'm generally disturbed by the images. I think in terms of like physical beauty and the beauty standard, I feel like Hollywood, I feel like the news and television shows still lag behind in terms of capturing this cultural zeitgeist. Like, we're in the midst of a paradigm shift. Anytime you can look around and like half the black women that you know are wearing their hair the way that it grows out of their head, like, I never in my lifetime thought I would see anything like that. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, I used to wonder, because now I got a relaxer at 5. I was like, why doesn't black women's hair just grow out of their head straight? Wouldn't that be so much easier than getting, like, you know, your scalp burned to a crisp every 6 to 8 weeks? Like, I remember having that sort of thought at like 8 or 9 years old. And so the fact that I could look around in a room and people could proudly be rocking their texture is in and of itself revolutionary, because self-love, to me, is revolutionary. I don't think that Hollywood or the general media is reflecting this movement of self-acceptance. And I think that what I'm seeing is that it's coming up in little pockets. Like advertising, they get it because they're closely aligned with our pocketbooks. You know what I mean? They're like, we want these black girls to keep buying stuff. Let me put a little afro in there, you know? But I think just in terms of the general media, like if you look at a black movie, and there are lots of actresses that have natural hair, but because of the roles that they're getting, they're weaving it up, you know, or they're wearing wigs. Look at Viola Davis, for example. And they're not, you know, it's not like, if you're natural, then it's like written into a role. It's not just you happen to be natural. So I'm looking forward to those attitudes changing, and that's why I find independent media so refreshing. Like, I don't know if anybody is into or was into the Misadventures of Awkward Black Girl. That was my favorite online series of all time. Issa Rae she's a freaking genius. So things like that, or like Black and Sexy TV, or just independent black content creators, even Ava DuVernay. So we're starting to see some movement, but it's definitely lagging behind our trends.
Right, and I understand the Awkward Black Girl, she got to deal with HBO. At first it was with ABC, but then there were some creative differences, and now, you know, HBO gives you a little more, you know, leverage.
Up, and then I got bits of banana still in my hair and I can't get it out. And then I said, I haven't got time to do this anymore. What I did, because like you said, there is hardly, at that time, there's hardly any products. You go to a store and they've got like a small ethnic section, and it's like terrible products that you would never ever use. It's better now, but it's still a long way to go. What I used to do was mix what was already there. So I'm a fan of Tresemme. I would get Tresemme products and add things to it. So add oils to it, or I'll get shea butter and mix things to it. Like you said, I'll get the raw ingredients. Because what I say to people when they're looking for products is try out the raw ingredients first, and then you see how your hair reacts to that. Then you can go and look for products that have those ingredients in them. That's the easier way of doing it. That's what I did to find out what my hair did and didn't like. But for somebody in the UK like myself, it has got better. The only issue we have now is the price point. We pay, for instance, you can get Shea Moisture for $9.99. We're paying $14.99, which is about $27 for one. And then when I on Instagram I see, buy one get one free, and I'm like, even if you bought two, it's still cheaper than you get one. And then I still have to pay shipping. And we do have the EU compliance as well, so you can't get a lot of products because of that. It has to be tested, and each product has to, it costs about £1,000 to get each product tested, just to get it in stores. So we do have that issue, and it is hard. Even me coming here, weirdly enough, I still pack products known as the land of products. But I know when I go back, I'm going to take like half a suitcase. of some back building. But in the past year, we've had a big influx of UKnaturals products coming over and having events. I've hosted a lot of events with them to get them out there. So it is happening very slowly, but we do have a lot of barriers. This is why we can't have it right now. So when we do watch YouTube channels and they'll say, use this, and I'm like, I can't use that. So it does get frustrating, but slowly we're getting there eventually.
I'm going to pass the mic over to you now. Here you go, Karen. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much for your attention. My name is Karen Tappan. I'm the CEO and founder of Karen's Body Beautiful. And this is my 7-year-old daughter, Imani. So what I want to do, I'm back from traveling throughout the summer. If any of you follow me, whether it's on Instagram or Twitter or anything, I've been traveling with my Target tour. I did about 27 states this summer, everywhere, doing appearances in Target, meeting people, shaking hands, kissing babies, doing what I love. And my products are also in HEB, which is a supermarket chain in Texas. So what I wanted to talk about with you today is what, as Candy described, my real hair talk conversation. So I've been doing this for 10 years. In fact, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary a few months ago. I think a few of you remember. And the reason why I even got into this business is because I decided to go natural almost about 14 years ago. Now, 14 years ago, it wasn't even about going natural. We didn't call it going natural. It wasn't even a we, it was just me by myself. And some of you may have heard me share my story before, but for those of you who haven't, when I met my husband, who I've been married to for 11 years, I was dating him about 15 years ago. And as I got to know him, I met his wife, his ex-wife, and she was natural. She's very beautiful. I met his stepdaughter, who is natural. She's a year older than me. That's another conversation. It's all good. She's natural. And then my husband's friends and his associates, all of them were natural. This was 15 years ago. I don't think that most of us were natural back then. So it was unusual for me with my relaxed hair to be around a whole network of women who look just like us right now. So I may be at a function and I'm, my straight hair, thinking I'm doing something, thinking I look right, and everybody is looking beautiful like you ladies right now. So I was starting to get a little, it was uncomfortable. But no one ever said anything to me. So one day I said to my husband, I'll be back. I was dating him at the time. I was in his apartment. I said, I'll be back. I'm going to get my hair done. Done and then a dose of the creamy crack. Except it wasn't called creamy crack, of course, back in the day, because that's what we did. That's how we looked beautiful. So he said to me, why? Now, it wasn't just a why, like, why are you going now? What time will you be back? I know it was a loaded why. To me, it was a confrontational why, because I knew exactly where that why was coming from. And he had never said anything about my hair, even though I was the only person in his network with a relaxer, and I was dating him. But I knew that why meant more than just, simple why are you going now as opposed to later. So I was like, damn, he's finally, he's confronting me on why I'm relaxing my hair. So he says nothing. I go in the bathroom, so I'm looking at the new robe, and I'm like, well, why am I doing this? Why? Am I trying to look like somebody else? Do I not like my hair? And I really was asking myself all these questions because we all know about the scabs and the burns and the damaged hair. But when you have a relaxer, that's part of the process. You just get over it, keep moving. Don't scratch your head on the right. Look, see everybody laughing. You know that you're not supposed to scratch your head several days up into the relaxer because then it's a wrap. So we were used to that. So now I'm like, damn, okay, so I'm confronting me on my relaxed hair. So that day, go get my hair relaxed. I decided, okay, I'm going to transition. Except there was no such word as transition. That's new in our vocabulary. So basically, I was like, okay, I'm going to grow